What's up YouTube? So the Osmo Pocket and the Fimi Palm are kind of like rivals, okay? In some ways. If the Osmo Pocket was a Coca-Cola, the Fimi Palm would be like a Pepsi. It kind of tastes the same, but it leaves a funny taste in your mouth afterwards. Now there's always been differences between the camera. One of those is the price. The Osmo Pocket is a little bit more expensive, probably about 40% more expensive. The Fimi Palm, they haven't quite worked out all the bugs yet. And one of the things that's always separated these two cameras is the sound. The Osmo Pocket had better sound than the Fimi Palm, until now. There is a firmware update on the Fimi Palm, which could fix the sound issues. Now I'm going to show you today a couple different options for sounds with the Fimi Palm, and we're going to test it against the Osmo Pocket. Can this little Pepsi become a Coca-Cola? We'll test that out today. The other important thing about these cameras that you need to know, he's lying to you. Listen, if you want to get a real man's camera, get the Sony a6600. This thing will put hairs on your chest. And if you already have those, it'll take them away. They're not interested in that camera. They came here for small compact cameras, you know, vlogging cameras. Vlogging? This thing's got built-in IBIS. There's your vlogging camera right there. Perfect stability, bigger sensor. You can't vlog with that thing, it's too big. That's what she said. What are we, 5 years old now? Seriously, we 5 years old. I'm just saying, it's too easy. You're an idiot. So this is the sound you'd get on the Fimi Palm with no external microphone, nothing set. So this is just out of the box before the firmware update, and it's got this weird low bass sound that keeps humming over the sound. So I'm hoping after this firmware update, it's going to be a lot better. This is the Osmo Pocket sound right out of the box. No external microphone. I'm not trying to cover any of the speakers on it. How's the Osmo Pocket compared to the Fimi Palm? It should be at least 50% better. Now to get the new firmware, you need to visit the Fimi Palm website. Go to the download link on the top right. You'll see there's a firmware version 1124.01. If you download that file, you'll actually unzip it on your computer, and then you just copy that file to the root of your Fimi Palm. At this stage, you can unplug and it should actually pop up with new firmware upgrade now. Click OK, and it takes about 2 or 3 minutes to do this process. So this is the Fimi Palm right after the firmware update. I've set the microphone to low. Has it made any difference? Is it good or bad? Now previously I had the microphone set to high. I just wanted to see what low sounds like. This is the Fimi Palm set to high on the sound settings. Is this any better after the firmware update? Has it still got that horrible humming noise at the bottom? I mean, I've installed the thing. It says it's got the 1.124 firmware update on it. Is it any better? Do we need to use the external bass and use an external microphone with this camera always? By the way, let's just switch to the sound before we did the firmware update. This is just out of the box before the firmware update. How is the sound? And this is the new sound after doing the firmware update. Osmo Pocket. Much nicer looking image too. There's one thing that they screwed up with on the Osmo Pocket. If you can name that thing, you get 10 points. Do you know what it is? They never put in built-in Wi-Fi. It's one of those things that doesn't sound like a big deal, but it is a big deal because you had to buy an adapter to actually put on the bottom of the Osmo Pocket, and that actually meant that you could not use the other adapter to mount an external microphone. So you could either remote control your Osmo Pocket or you had good sound, which is kind of a screw up in hindsight. That's one thing the Fimi Palm actually did right. Built-in Wi-Fi, it is the cheaper camera. I'd say at least 7 or 8 people have contacted me saying they had different issues with the Fimi Palm. But at this price point, if you had like $150 lying around, it's not a bad camera. And the field of view is really nice as well. And with the built-in Wi-Fi, really, you had to bring that thing in? What? I'm just sitting here. It's a free country. What, you own this bench now too? I can't sit on this bench? Can't you go play somewhere else with that thing? I'm kind of busy doing the thing. I'm talking about these two cameras. Look, I'm just looking at your little baby gimbals over there, and I thought I'd show the people of YouTube a different option, a much better option, something that they can actually rely on. How big is your sensor? I'm not getting into this. How big is your sensor? 6.17 millimeters. 6 millimeters? 23.6 millimeters over here. Well, that thing's crop factor, APS-C sensor crop factor, 17 millimeter on that thing becomes like a 25 millimeter. APS-C doesn't matter, sensor size, this thing's got a bigger sensor. Let me show the people of YouTube, let me take this from here and show you how to win. Let's go with this camera. It's basically the same size as the Osmo Pocket. I don't see what the big deal is. It's pretty compact. You can almost fit it in your pocket or your backpack. You've also got this cool joystick. Check it out. Bang! Look at that. If you hit the joystick twice, it'll flip around. Hey, look at that. Yes. It's got your little joystick controller. You've got different modes. If you hit it 3 times, it switches to selfie mode. You've also got the pop-up screen at the top, which is awesome. You can mount your Rode Wireless Go on the side. It's the perfect system. Okay, the lens is quite big, but it's a low light lens. This is the Sigma 60mm f1.4, so it sucks in way more light than a normal lens would do. We're at f2.8 aperture of champions. How far can we go? f2.5, f2, f1.8, f1.6, 1.4. That's as low as this camera goes. Oh, there's your focus point right there. So you see the hands become blurry? There's your focus. Depth of field. There's plants behind me. You wouldn't know, but there's plants. So the Osmo Pocket is great, right? It's a great little camera, good filmmaking tool, but this is Hollywood. That's more like a small car commercial. And yes, it's big, the Ronin SC, but you got all the features. I'll let you get back to that other loser, how-to guy. If you ever want a how-to win, you watch my channel. It's much better. Anyway, I decided the best way to test the Fimi Palm and the Osmo Pocket was to use exactly the same sound components. So I found 2 Rode Wireless Go's, and then all I needed was a dual testing tripod bracket, some small mounting brackets, 2 Rode Wireless Go's, both cameras of course, and a couple of audio adapters to make this fair. The Fimi Palm has that built-in 3.5mm mounting, which is useful. The Osmo Pocket I had to use the conventional bracket. This gave me quite a nice system. One thing to note about the Fimi Palm and the external base is that you need to push in this little 3.5mm audio adapter all the way. You will get that mic connected or disconnect message as soon as you put it in, but it's sort of touching the connectors. You actually need to push it in all the way. So push it in, force it in. Let's test these things out. Small selfie stick, good for testing cameras. And this is the original cage that comes with the Osmo Pocket extension kit. I just used this so I could get the cameras pointing in the same directions. I usually use a different one, which allows me to mount the Rode Wireless Go on the side. But since I'm testing 2 cameras, I wanted to see both of the screens. I've got the Osmo Pocket with its external base connected to a Rode Wireless Go. Let's switch back to the Fimi Palm. I don't know if you picked up that interference with the 2 Rode Wireless Go's. Fortunately, this only happened once, and I think it's due to the fact that this is using the 2.4 GHz band, which is used in almost everything, including Wi-Fi, garage door openers, baby monitors. Anyway, let's get moving on. How is the sound compared to the Osmo Pocket, which we'll switch to now? The Osmo Pocket sound, is it any better? They should be almost identical because we're using exactly the same microphones. The Rode Wireless Go, I got 2 lavalier mics on at the moment. I got enough radiation going through me at the moment to probably cause many different autoimmune diseases, but I'm okay with that. Can't live forever, right? How is it? Does it look any better? The Osmo Pocket looks a lot sharper than the Fimi Palm. But how is the picture quality? Is the sound? Sound has always been such an important thing. Oh, the Fimi Palm actually lost me there. Fail. The Fimi Palm sound has never been that good. I think, having looked at the footage after doing the firmware upgrade on the Fimi Palm, it actually did look a lot better. So, what do you guys think? The Fimi Palm obviously has a smaller sensor than the Osmo Pocket. So in low light conditions, the Osmo Pocket will look a little bit better. You'll notice it right now when you have a look. Man, I hope you guys got something out of this video today. I don't want to love and leave you, but I have to say thanks for watching the channel. I hope you got something out of it. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe today. Most people ask you to subscribe. I'm just going to say if you feel like watching the channel in future, maybe you can hit that subscribe button. See you again next time.